Veins. Follow the missing evidence.
There's a kind of disappearance that doesn't look like a disaster. No explosion, no evacuation sirens, just a quiet edit. A line on a map gets redrawn. A forest becomes a concession. A community becomes a footnote. On Sapura Island in Indonesia's Mentawai chain, people say something is being erased, not from the land, but from the future.
Sapura is a small island off the west coast of Sumatra. It's part of the Mentawai Islands, known for dense forests, river systems, and indigenous communities whose lives are tied to the land in ways maps can't measure. And that's exactly why the next part hits harder. Because this isn't a story about a forest. It's a story about who gets to define reality. Mentawai Islands sit off the west coast of Sumatra, facing the Indian Ocean. They're stunning and historically isolated. That isolation matters because in places like this, a village can exist culturally for generations while remaining fragile on paper. Names spelled differently, boundaries redrawn, and small settlements merged into larger administrative units. Over time, a community doesn't have to be destroyed to become invisible. It just has to stop being counted the same way. When valuable land meets weak oversight, a pattern repeats around the world. Concessions, development plans, relocation programs, and then silence. This doesn't need a conspiracy movie. It only needs incentives. If a community stands in the way of extraction, logging, plantations, infrastructure, paperwork becomes a weapon. Names change, boundaries shift, and suddenly, what was once a village becomes nothing official. The modern world doesn't need to burn books. It just updates databases. A place can be real on the ground and still become invisible online. Map layers change. Mentions get removed. Old references get buried under new search results. And once the digital footprint is thin enough. So what do you do when a place feels missing? You triangulate reality. You compare older references, archival documents, oral histories, and satellite timelines. You look for boundary changes and naming shifts. Because sometimes a village doesn't vanish. It gets renamed until it becomes unsearchable. And that's the final warning of this story. If a community can be removed from the map without a fight, then the map was never just geography. It was permission. Subscribe to Ambient Veins, because some truths don't disappear, they're buried.